Gross, disgusting, filthy, hated by your parents and sister, rats were pretty well suited to what most kids wanted from their toys in the 80s and 90s. Luckily, we had quite a few to choose from, so let's dive into the infestation and check out the Rat Pack. Not you, you're a mouse! We've got to start with arguably the most famous rat of the era.
Love your rat friends, yeah!
Okay, maybe just behind Roland. The vermin version of Mr Miyagi, Master Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Born in Japan as Hamato Yoshi, a discarded barrel of radioactive mutagen caused him to transform into the anthropomorphic rat we know and love. Released in 1988, he comes with his recognisable pink kimono, and I think he's a pretty decent representation of the cartoon character. I reckon he could have done with pupils to make him look a little bit friendlier and closer to the cartoon version, but overall he's a solid figure. Rataro was released in 1986 in the second wave of Thundercats figures, and this guy is all about the tache. Look at it! Fu Manchu would be proud.
Excellent.
A direct descendant of legendary warlord Ratilla the Terrible, Rataro is considered the most cunning and evil of all the mutants. Just like his ancestor, he was commander of the mutant army back on Plundar and is just as vicious and power hungry.
I am in command! You hear me?
It's a shame they slimmed the figure down, as this portly rodent should be a similar shape as Slife, but I'm sure that was probably done to save money. He's a decent representation of the character though, and some of the details are spot on. Nope. Now this is a proper rat. This guy is called Skaar, and he's from a line that doesn't get too much love. Horror Pets by Mattel from 1994. It was ultimately a bunch of creepy crawlies that moved around like they were alive. They were aimed directly at that undeniable urge little boys have to scare and gross out their sisters. They came in 3 sizes: insectoids, scuttlers and monsters like Skaar here. The smaller ones just had pullback and go mechanisms, but the monsters were battery operated with light up eyes and moving jaws, which I'd love to show you if this guy still worked. I really like the cartoony style of the design with bold and exaggerated features. He's covered in gory flea bites, boils and exposed bones. Another nod to that gross Madball style, still popular well into the 90s. This little rodent punk is called Street Rat. Released in 1990 in the second series of the Kenner Beetlejuice line, he's one of the neighbourhood nasties. These figures are a close relative of the haunted humans from Ghostbusters, seemingly normal looking humans that transform into something nasty. Street Rat was a tough hoodlum who hung around on street corners pushing people around until he ran into our pal Beetlejuice. A little sprinkle of magic dust and pow, a squirming vermin. I love figures that have a transform in action. It's like getting 2 for the price of 1. And even now, I find it quite satisfying making him change. Definitely my favourite of the neighbourhood nasties. Cool concept for a figure, and he rocks that Mohican so well. Planet Heck is home to Evil the Cat. It's full of shadow demons, rabid lawyers.
And Henchrat? Why everyone forgetting Henchrat?
It's also the home of Evil the Cat's mindless rodent lackey, Henchrat. This guy's awesome. He's got that classic Playmates style design with loads of little sculpted details and textures. He comes with these hench padded shoulders, which houses the deadly double cheese shoulder gun. And if that doesn't get you, the cut the cheese knife will. He's a great character, and the figure definitely does him justice. I love the sculpt, especially that long scrawny neck.
Thank you.
It's mostly covered up by his shoulder armour, but underneath you can see his awesome top, which looks like it's made from a slice of holy cheese. I love it. Bonus fact, the actor who voiced Henchrat in the Earthworm Jim cartoon was John Cassia, who was also the voice of the Crypt Keeper. Mouse! There were 8 different versions of Splinter released by Playmates in the vintage Turtles line. Alongside the classic original, I also wanted to include the movie star version.
Cowabunga.
Released in 1992, between the second and third feature films, this guy's gimmick was real rat fur feel. What more could a kid possibly want? He's not really that accurate to the on-screen Splinter, but the flocking is a nice gimmick. His cloth kimono is a nice touch, and at least he's got pupils this time. While not strictly rat-based himself, I had to include the Rat King, Lord of the Rodents.
I am the Rat King. This is my domain.
This guy was released in 1989 in the second wave of the Turtles toy line. Rat King's goal was to establish his own rat-controlled government, or ratocracy, and bring human rule to an end, believing that rats were superior to all other species. He's wrapped in mummy-style bandages, with numerous rats and bugs sculpted into his design. By far the grossest thing about him, though, is that patchy ginger hair. Truly horrendous.
Now just a moment, I resent that remark.
His name, Rat King, is obviously a reference to him being king of the rats. But did you know a rat king is also the term for a gang of rats with their tails tangled together? Pretty gross. One of Rat King's accessories kind of references this. His grappling hook is made of 2 rats with their tails bound together. I think it would have worked even better as 3 rats, but regardless, that's pretty awesome. So which one of these is your favourite? Let me know in the comments. Did you have any of these guys, or did you prefer inferior non-rodent based toys? If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. Hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.